My name's Kevin Baugh. I'm the CEO of KnowledgeBridge International. And I'm going to start this presentation with a story that's kind of poignant to me. So my father had chronic lymphocytic leukemia, and he was allergic to the chemo. And I was sitting at his bedside, and the guys came in to give him the drugs for the evening. So, Mr. Baugh, you need to wake up. And they proceeded to give him his drugs, but my dad, because he was allergic to the chemo, had destroyed his lungs. He had like 50% lung capacity. He took his oxygen off and started talking to the people. And I realized, hey, my dad does this all the time. He's taking off his oxygen all the time. What if he forgets to put it back on? If he forgets to put it back on, he could be dead in the morning. And so I realized what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a Bluetooth pulse oximeter, hook it to my dad's phone, and be able to know when my dad was either taking his oxygen off or when he removed the sensor. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to build that capability before my dad passed away. But we were able to build the capability subsequently, and I'm going to talk to you not only about that capability, but how it relates to the special operations community and why we need capabilities that are what I call adaptive to the edge. So you've heard the old adage, you know, you can get things fast and cheap, or cheap and good, or cheap and fast, or good and fast, but you can't get any two of these. You can only get two of these, you can't get all three together. And I will tell you that that is absolutely not true. Even though lots of business people have done it, the reason why businesses make money is because they can do fast, cheap, and good all together. And the way you do that is through reuse, whether it's hardware reuse, or code reuse, or reuse of business processes. So today's most user-friendly and profitable systems rely upon the reuse of proven technology. And if you think about it, you can start here with the Internet of Things, where everybody's making hardware, that interoperability, and you can use it. We have device software like my company makes, that allows things to connect together. You have adaptive architectures and infrastructures like you talked about with the GoTenna. My company's integrated with GoTenna. They're a great company, a great capability. But these kinds of capabilities, we have already existing today, adaptive capabilities that go all the way from the tactical edge to the analyst in the back. So when you're talking about adaptive storage and retrieval, you see those kinds of things on Amazon. When you talk about adaptive analytics, you see that kind of thing in Gemma within the intelligence community. When you talk about the kinds of adaptive user interfaces, there's literally hundreds of different kinds of user interfaces that people can use. So when we talk about our capability, we basically build a drag and drop app builder. We're doing demonstrations. We've been doing demonstrations all during the exercise. If you guys want to see, if you want us to build an application for you, we're happy to do it. We're upstairs in the terrace. We'll build an application for you in real time so you can actually see it work. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm really talking about the bigger vision, because what we need to really innovate for everybody is to be able to do adaptation the whole way. The kinds of capabilities you need to be able to do this, and let me make sure I haven't lost a slide here. The kinds of things you need to do here, capabilities need to be responsive, reliable, resilient, and reusable. If you can do that, we can reduce costs, we can save money, we can provide capability to the field, and it can be the field that supports user requirements regardless of what those requirements are. Basically, the conceptual framework goes like this. We have adaptive hardware working with adaptive software, working with adaptive architecture, adaptive infrastructure, adaptive storage and retrieval, adaptive analytics, and adaptive and responsive capabilities. That's what our forces need. That's the vision that all of your companies can operate in, and even you guys that are PMs out there, that's a vision that you can support. If you use that vision, the forces of the future will be able to meet their requirements and be able to fight and win on the battlefield. Now, I know there was, you guys are shy about questions, so I was talking about questions with one of my colleagues, and he said, Kevin, you're a smart guy. Well, you didn't say that. He said, Kevin, what are the technical imperatives required to try and pull this off? So I'll be done. So there are three imperatives. The first is it has to be easy to use. If your technology is not easy to use, users won't be able to use it in the field. It's just not going to get used. The second is really resilience. Your capability needs to be able to be put back up on the fly and be able to operate and be able to support requirements. Even if the networks break down or other things, you need to be able to collect the data and move it. If you don't give the operators a resilient capability, it's not going to work. The last thing that you need is to build be responsive to user needs. I can't tell you how many people that I've worked with where they build a capability and they build the capability that they want as opposed to the capability that the users asked them for. In the future, that's just not going to work. So I would tell you, regardless of whether you're in business or whether you're a program manager or whether you're an operational guy in the field, these are the standards that all of us need to be held to. I'm willing to hold my company to that, and I hold my partners to that. And I look forward to working with you guys in the future. You're an amazing group to work with. Thank you very much. If you have any questions for me, I'll be to the side over here. Thank you.